Okay, so, do you remember what we talked about last time, 2 weeks ago? What topic? Pronunciation. Pronunciation of what? Pronunciation of what?
Verb.
Verb. What verb? Remember, there are two types of verbs in English, right? One of them is what? Regular, and the other?
Irregular.
Irregular. Okay, so let me write that down here. Two types of verbs. What's one of them? You got regular and irregular. But last week, we talked about pronunciation of verbs. What type of verbs? Regular or irregular? Regular, right? What are regular verbs? Do you remember? What did we say? What are regular verbs? They finish in ed, right? Okay, so let's write that down. Regular verbs finish in ed, right? Does anybody remember one example? Only one. It's okay to look at your notes. Work. Work. Okay. So work in the present. How is this in past? Work. With ed, right? One more.
Talk.
Talk. Talk in the present and in the past with ed. Okay? So when we are writing, it's okay to add ed. That's fine, right? But when we're speaking, what happens? What happens with ed when we're speaking? The what? Yes, pronunciation changes a little bit. Okay? So, do you remember how many sounds ed has? What are the sounds? 3 sounds, yes. 1, 2, 3. What's one sound? D, right? I'm sorry? C. Okay. We said C. Notice how I write it, okay? And then? D. And? ID. Okay. ID. What is the sound of a T?
No.
What is the sound? Yes, just make the sound. How does a T sound in the alphabet? Remember that? And this? The, right? And this? It. Okay, so the, right? Okay. Let me write this a little smaller. Yeah. So we are getting there. Okay, let's go slowly. So when you say and you touch and you put your hand here, what happens? Do you feel anything? No vibration, right? Okay, let's write that. No vibration. Sometimes in books they call it voiceless sound. Okay, so if you're reading a book and you see voiceless sound, it means right here you don't feel anything, no vibration. Okay? How about the? the, it vibrates a little bit, right? Something happens here. And if this is voiceless, this one has a voice. Okay? And we call it voiced sound. All right? That's if you're reading a book. And what happens with it? What happens with it? It. You feel something here, right? Okay. Now, look at, just say work. Work. Repeat after me. Work.
Work.
Work. What is the last sound you hear when you say work? What sound? The, right? And when you touch, again, when you put your hand here, when you say, do you feel anything? Is it voiceless or voiced?
No.
Only, do you feel something here when you say, no?
No.
So then that means voiceless, right? So when you write ED in your paper, you pronounce worked. ED is pronounced like this, with a T sound. Worked. Mhm. How about talk? Talk. What is the sound that you hear? Talk. Again, the same sound, right? So, when I write ED, and how do I pronounce ED? Worked, right? Because I have a sound, no vibration. Hi. So let's review the alphabet a little bit to know which one is voiced and which one is voiceless. This is the alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E. What comes after that? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, T, U, Z first, right? Z, then W, X, Y, and remember there are 3 more sounds in English? What are those? 3 more sounds.
CH.
CH, and how does that sound? Right? What else? 2 more. S, H, and that's what? Right? This sound, and the last one is? CH. And what does that sound like? How do we put our mouth when we want to say CH? Right? Remember, your tongue and your upper lip. Like when we say 3. Okay? Okay. What is the sound of A? Like when you say apple, right? So what is the sound? Right? And again, put your hand here. Do you feel something? You say vibration, right? So we will write it under here. Right? How about like bottle? Like when you say bottle. Do you feel something? Yes? So, voiceless or voiced? Voice. Cat. diamond, Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you one thing. Remember this? ED is pronounced as id when we have a D and T sound. Okay? Do you remember this? Wait, right? It ends with a T sound. So what happens when I write ED? Wait. Waited, okay? Another verb that ends with a T. Let's see, we have a list here. If you have this from last week, you can put up some verbs. We have need, for example, need. What sound is this? Need. Right? So we have the D sound. See right here? Yeah. So I write ED, and how do I pronounce it? Need. Needed. Yes. Okay? Needed. So that's the D sound and the T sound. Let's continue with E. Like when we say elephant. Do you feel something? Yes or no? When you say
Yeah?
something happens here? Good. Voice. How about the F sound? What is the F sound? Like when you say fantastic. No vibration, right? Feel nothing? Okay, so, look here. G sound, like when you say guitar. Go. Do you feel something? Don't be afraid to touch your throat right here. Go. Feel something?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Vibration, like right down here. Hi, like when you say hi, the H sound. Or when you say hello, what sound is that? Do you feel something? No vibration, right? So, here. What happens when you say this? Vibration. All the vowels are voice. They have vibration. So let's add A, E, I. What's the next one?
O.
U. Okay. Let's do all the vowels. Okay. How about J? What word starts with J? Or what name starts with J? Who? What? Jimmy. Jason. So it's a J. Okay. This is very similar to the C sound, right? Cat. You know that chocolate Kit Kat? So what is voice or voiceless?
No.
Right. Voiceless?
No.
Yes, voiceless. Say, you don't feel anything. Yes, I right here. How about this one? The L sound. You feel something? Yeah, right? Voice. How about How about feel something?
Yes.
So M and N are voice. Puff. Puff, nothing, right? Puff, puff, nothing. Cute. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Do something?
No.
Quack.
No.
Quack, quack. I feel something. Quack. Say, quake. Quack, quack. You feel something? Yeah, right? Here. Like roses. Yeah? How about
No. No.
nothing, right?
No.
Oops, that's an ugly yes. How about V? Like violet, violin. Violet, violet.
No. Vibration.
Do you feel something? Say violet. Say. Do you feel something?
Yeah.
It's not. It's. Yeah, you feel something, a little something here.
Yeah.
So let's write it here. W, like when you say water. Walk, 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 walk. Feel something?
Yes.
Yes? Walk. Oh, sorry, here.
No.
Yellow. Yeah. 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 Feel something?
Yes.
Okay. We need more space now. There we go. Zoo. Like when you say zoo. Zoo. Yes, right? How about these three extra sounds? Like church.
No.
No.
No vibration. How about shh? Like when you're telling somebody shh, to be quiet. Shh. Vibrate or no?
No.
No. No. How about no, right?
No.
So these three sounds are voiceless. Let's add them over here. And okay. So this is the rule. When the verb, okay, in present tense, finishes with a voiceless sound, that means you don't feel anything here, only the last sound, okay? You will write ED on the paper, but you will pronounce ED like this. Okay? Fax, right? This is I will fax you the paper, right? Or I fax the paper. How do I pronounce this in the past tense? Look, fax ends with a voiceless sound. So I write ED and I pronounce ED like this, right? Fast. Fast. Okay? Fast. I don't know why I write this. When the verb ends in a sound that vibrates here, you pronounce ED like this. The. Okay, so for example, we have, let's look at another verb. We have fill. Do you know this verb, fill? Like my water, I have a little bit of water, right? So if I put water in it, I am filling up my bottle. So fill is to put in, right? So fill in the present, fill. In the past tense, I write ed, right? What is the last sound you hear? Fill, l, right? That vibrates here, and we have the L sound here. So I pronounce ed like this, the. Can you read this? Filled. Filled. It's like this, look. You spell fill, filled. That's only the sound, okay? How about fast? Fast. Fast. That's, maybe this helps you to see it, right? You have the same verb, fast, and then you pronounce ed like a T, because the last sound is a voiceless sound. Nothing happens here in your throat. Okay, no vibration. But if you have a vibration like fill, then you pronounce ed like this, the filled, filled. I filled up my bottle. Okay? And the third rule, if your verb ends with a D or T sound, you would write ed on the paper, and you would pronounce ed like this, ed. Ed. Like we have this example. This is like wait plus it. Waited. Waited. Okay, so we're combining the consonants and the vowel. Waited. Waited. And how about this? Need plus it sound, right? Needed. Needed. I needed to buy a plane ticket. I waited for you. Right? Do we remember this from last class? Okay? I will give you 5 minutes to finish copying, okay? And then we will move on. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I have 3 different pieces of paper, 3 different colors, okay? One of this, for example, the blue one says T, the T sound, okay? This one right here, the red one, is the D sound, D, okay? D. And the yellow one says ID, it, the it sound, all right? So I am going to give you one of each, okay? So take one yellow, one red, and one blue. I am going to read one verb in the past, okay? If you hear the D sound, you raise the red card. If you hear the sound, you raise the blue one. And if you hear the it sound, you raise the yellow one. Okay? Are we clear? So if I say waited, which one do you raise? The red, blue, or yellow? Yellow. Yellow because it's it. Waited. Right? If I say walked, which one do you raise? Blue. The blue one. Walked. I want you to listen very carefully, okay? So I am going to do it slowly, a few times. All right? Let's see what we catch. If it helps you to imagine the word in your head, do it. Okay? It's good practice. Explored. 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 I went to Brazil and I explored the Amazon. Explored. I am going to read you one sentence this time. Okay? I am going to have a subject, a verb, and an object. Okay? So I want you to listen to the verb, and I still want you to do the same. If it's the D sound, you raise the red. If it's the blue sound, the T, or if it's the I sound, the yellow. Okay? I listened to the teacher. 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 Listen. Or I listened to the teacher yesterday. Think about the word listen. It's an N, right? So what happens? The D. I listened to the teacher yesterday. Rented. I rented my apartment to Maria. Rented. Rented. Sunilda, what's your answer? Rented. Rented. Ed. What is that? The ed sound, right? The yellow part. Rented. Rent. Ends with a T sound, right? Look over there. What happens if we have a T sound? ID, right? Rented. Ed. The it sound. Ready? Invited. I invited my friends to the party. Invited. The yellow sound. Listen to the word invite. Where's the last sound you hear? Invite. The T sound, right? Again, what happens with the T sound? Look at the third rule over there. I write ED and I pronounce ed. Invite. Invited. Okay? Ready? My cheese melted. My cheese, we know what cheese is, right?
Yes.
Like American cheese, Swiss cheese, provolone. Yes. My cheese melted in my sandwich. My cheese melted in my sandwich. My cheese melted. Melted. What sound is that? Melted. The verb is melt. You know this verb? Melt? Melt? Yes. Derretir. Melt. When something is very, when it's very hot, like the cheese when you're putting hot in the hot bread or in the pan, it melts. Okay?
Ice cream.
Or like your ice cream when you
When the ice cream is very hot, it melts.
it melts. It becomes water, right?
Yeah.
So melt. And I am saying, my cheese melted. My cheese melted. What is the sound? The, t, or my cheese melted. Right? Yes, very good. I crossed the street. I crossed the street. I crossed the street. I crossed, I said, I crossed the street. Where's the verb here? Cross, right? I have my ED. How does it sound? I crossed the street. The t or it? I crossed, right? The blue one. I crossed the street. Very good. One more, so that we can continue. I mixed all the ingredients. 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 Like I'm cooking, I mixed all the ingredients. So it's all about the last sound. You see what happens? This is all about the last sound. And why do you think this is important to know? Yes, one, to understand, and two, when we're speaking, we want to pronounce things correctly, right? Okay, so we have the answer, we have the subject and the verb for each sentence here, right? Let's see if they are correct. So, number 2, he walked to the bank and asked for money. Who are we talking about? The man. And the man is where here? He. Okay? So you ask yourself, who are we talking about? Who are we talking about equals the subject. Right? So if you're reading a sentence, you ask yourself, who are we talking about? Your answer is the subject. So he is a subject. Right? Who walked? The verb. Walk is the verb, right? Who walked? He. Okay? So he walked, that's correct. This verb goes with the subject, right? So you ask yourself, who walked? Again, he. The answer is the subject. Okay? Ask. Who asked? He. So that's the subject. Okay? Number 3. The teller gave him 3 bags with cash. What is the subject? Who are we talking about? The teller, right? All of that. What did the teller do? Gave. So this is the verb that goes with the subject. Okay? Who gave money? The teller. Yes, that's the subject. How about 4? What are we talking about? What exploded? Only one? Only bag? Or one bag? One bag. One bag. So what exploded? One bag. All of this is a subject. Okay? How about 5? The man cried. Who are we talking about? The man. Who cried? The man. Okay, so that's my subject. Right? The police came and handcuffed the man. Who came? The police. And who handcuffed the man? The police. Who handcuffed the man? The police. So the police again is my subject, right? Subject. Here I have 2 verbs, right? And the 2 verbs go together with the police. We have a similar case with number 2, right? Walk and ask. How about the last one? The police took the man to the police car. Who are we talking about? The police. And what is the verb? Took. So my question is, who took the man to the police car? The police. So the police is my subject. Okay? So since we are starting to write sentences, if it's in the present, or in the past, or in the future, you always want to start your sentence with a subject. Okay? That's a good tip. Try to always start your sentence with a subject, like the police, the man, he, the teller, one bag. Okay? Rule number 1. Start your sentence with a subject. Right? What goes after the subject?
The verb.
Right. So, rule number 1, you have your subject. Rule number 2,
Verb.
follow with the verb. Follow with the verb. And it's okay if your verb is regular or irregular. Okay? Short sentences start with a subject and then the verb. Long sentences always also start with a subject and then the verb. Okay? So that will be sort of like something you want to always remember. Start your sentence if you're writing or if you're speaking, right? Also when you're speaking, you want to include a subject and then the verb. And then everything will be easier. Okay? So remember that. Subject, then verb. You got it?
Present time.
Present tense too. Like,
What?
hmm?
Already told.
Say it one more time.
No, because he said present, but it's about the when you about the talk.
Yes.
We said it, yeah.
Right. So for example, I can say, I practice English. Oops. Present. Look at this sentence. Let's say a hunter. Okay? Where is my subject here? I, right? How do you know that's the subject?
Because it's about
It's about me, right? It's about I. Practice. Who practices English? I, right? So practice is my verb. So I practice English at Hunter. This is a short sentence, but I can make it longer. I practice English at Hunter with my friends. I is still the subject. Practice, still the verb. Right? So I practice English at Hunter with my friends and my teacher. So that's a longer sentence, right? And again, I have a subject, and again, I have my verb together at the beginning. Okay? So this is present tense. Look at the verb, it's in present tense. How do I change this to the past? Past tense. Past, so what do I add? ED, but here it already finishes with an E, so I write a D right there. I practice English at Hunter with my friends and my teacher. So the only thing that changes is the verb from present to past. How about future? I will, I erase my D because it's not past. I will practice English at Hunter with my friends and my teacher. So it's in present, in past, in future, always you start with your subject and then your verb. Okay? My son?
When have will, it's all time. All time.
When I have will? Will? When you have will, it's future tense. Look, this present, subject and verb. For past, you add an A to your regular verb. And if you want future, you only add will, and then your verb is present. so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to continue practicing. We are going to continue practicing writing sentences in the past. Now, this is the rule. I want you to use this if you have questions about irregular verbs, right? So, for example, if you don't know how to say think in the past, well, you look think. Where is think? Right here. And then you find it, oh, it's thought. Okay? What I'm going to do is I am going to give everybody a story. Okay? This story has one page here, two, and also in the back. Okay? What we are going to do is we are going to write, you're going to look at the picture, and I want you to write here one sentence. What you see in the picture. Okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Right? I am giving you number 1 as an example. Okay? So what I have here, I see a person reading the newspaper, and I have Mr. Bean read the newspaper and had a brilliant idea. Okay? So what I want you to do is, again, I want you to please take one and I would like you to please look at the picture and write only one sentence. Okay? Only one sentence in past tense. So what is the first thing we're doing? What is it? I gave you this. What is the first thing we're doing? Look at the picture. Look at the picture and then? First, I want you to look at the picture and then? Write a sentence. So 1, I want you to look at the picture, and number 2, what should you do? Write a sentence. A sentence in past tense, right? And the sentence has to be about the picture, okay? Now, if the picture is not so clear, I will show you the pictures here, okay? Oh my. So, okay? So, everybody is going to, we are running a little short in time, so everybody is going to do only one picture, okay? So, I gave you the first one. I gave you an example in the first one, right? So you will do number 2, you will do number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay? Picture number 3. Number 3? Yes. Number 3. This one, right? Yes. This right here we call a vase. Will you put flowers? I'm going to change the picture, okay, for a little bit. This one's yours. Give me 1 second. Be right back. Everybody finished? Okay, I want you to go to the first page. To the first page. Okay, so are you on the first page? Yes? Yeah, you can keep the number now. Are you on the first page? Okay. So, you don't need, please do not write anything. Just listen. Okay? Everybody is going to read their sentence. So, all I want you to do is, I want you to look at the first picture and listen to my sentence. Okay? Then, Marisol will go next. She has the second picture. Okay? She will read her sentence, and then Erica has the third picture. Okay? So we don't write anything. Nothing. Only listen. Okay? We will see what happens in the story. So I will go first. Mr. Bean read the newspaper and had a brilliant idea.
He decided to public water bomb in his house with 12 computers.
Okay.
Mr. Bean put forward the newspaper to write.
What's up? Sorry, Gloria, right? Gloria.
Mr.
Mr. Bean.
So, how do we do that?
How to?
How do we put the hat?
What to do with the hat.
What to do?
What to do. What to do with the hat. Ruth.
Mr. B covered the clock with the hat.
Okay.
Mr. Bean stood and smiled inside to the reading room.
Inside the reading room.
Inside the reading
So he stood and smiled inside the reading room.
Inside the reading room.
Mr. Bean
Checked
the bomb.
Check the bomb. Okay.
Mr. Bean looked at the fire.
Look at the fire.
Listen to him. Wanted to open the door.
Okay.
Mr. Bean shut their ears and cried. He thinks run around.
He thought. Remember, past tense. He thought.
He thought.
Lisette?
The candy party so Bean had in his head, and he was very happy.
He was very happy. Okay.
Mr. Frank was worried for the friend Ben.
Mr. Frank was worried.
Was worried for
Guys,
his friend.
I need attention to the sentence.
Mr. Frank was worried for his friend Ben.
Okay, so Mr. Frank. She's saying this man is Mr. Frank. Okay? Read your sentence again, Mr. Frank.
Yes, Mr.
Read
Frank.
it again.
Mr. Frank was worried for his friend Ben.
Okay, he was worried. Okay.
The man was thinking what happened here.
The man thought. So what?
What happened here?
What happened here? And lastly,
Mr. B opening the door and then looking at blocks inside.
okay, Mr. Bean opened